In 1969, a serial killer mailed a coded letter to the San Francisco Chronicle. Inside was a cipher, 408 hand-drawn symbols, no spaces, no punctuation. He said it contained his name, his identity. Dozens of experts, FBI codebreakers, and amateur cryptographers spent 50 years trying to crack it. Then in 2020, a retired school teacher, a mathematician, and a software developer, sitting in 3 different countries, solved it from their living rooms, using the internet. But here's what nobody's talking about. The Zodiac never said it was the only cipher, and the ones we haven't solved, they might be worse. What you're about to hear is drawn from original FBI case files, statements from the American Cryptogram Association, and the decrypted text itself, which law enforcement has confirmed as authentic. This isn't theory. This isn't speculation. This is documented. Between 1968 and 1969, a killer terrorized Northern California. He attacked couples in isolated spots, lovers' lanes, parks, lakesides at night. He murdered at least 5 people, possibly more. He was never caught. But what separated the Zodiac from every other serial killer of his era wasn't just the kills, it was the letters. He wrote to newspapers, he taunted police, he gave himself a name, and he sent ciphers, coded messages, that he claimed would reveal who he was. Most killers run from attention. The Zodiac invited it. He wanted people reading. He wanted people scared. And the ciphers were the weapon he used to stay in control long after every crime scene went cold. He wasn't just a murderer, he was a performer, and the ciphers were his stage. The first cipher he sent, in August 1969, is called the Z408. 408 symbols, split across 3 separate letters, sent to 3 different newspapers simultaneously. He told them to print it on the front page, or he'd go on a killing spree that weekend. They printed it. A high school teacher named Donald Hardin and his wife Betty cracked it within a week. No computers, just pen, paper, and pattern recognition. The decoded message began with these words: "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest." He went on to describe his murders like a weekend hobby, and then silence. No name, no address. He'd promised his identity was inside. It wasn't. Or if it was buried in a place no one could find. That psychological trick, promising something and delivering something horrifying instead, is the Zodiac in a nutshell. The second major cipher is called the Z340, 340 symbols, sent November 1969. For 51 years, it sat completely unsolved. The FBI tried. The NSA reportedly reviewed it. Thousands of amateur cryptographers submitted solutions that turned out to be wrong. Then, in December 2020, David Oranchak, a web developer in Virginia, along with a mathematician named Sam Blake and an Australian programmer named Jarl van Eyck, cracked it. Their breakthrough? The Zodiac had scrambled the ciphers rows diagonally, a method no one had tried before. The decoded message read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." Misspellings and all. The FBI confirmed it was authentic. The Zodiac had been dead for years. Probably. And he was still winning. Here's where it gets genuinely unsettling. There are 2 more Zodiac ciphers that remain completely unbroken. The Z13 and the Z32. The Z13 is just 13 characters. He said it spelled his name. The same people who cracked a 340-symbol cipher across 3 countries cannot confirm a single valid solution for 13 characters. Think about that. 13. Either it's fiendishly layered, or it was designed to be impossible. The Z32 is stranger. It came attached to a hand-drawn map of the area around Mount Diablo in California. The Zodiac wrote that if you set a radian on the map and solved the cipher together, you'd find where he buried a bomb. Police searched, found nothing. Whether the bomb was real, whether the cipher even decodes to coordinates, unknown to this day. Some researchers believe the Z13 and Z32 were never meant to be solved, that they were the punchline, the final move from a man who wanted to be remembered as untouchable. He gave you the puzzle and kept the answer. The mainstream story in 2020 was Zodiac Cipher finally cracked. True. But the coverage buried the real headline. Solving the Z34 got us exactly 0 steps closer to identifying him. Investigators still have DNA from a stamp the Zodiac licked. They have fingerprint evidence, handwriting samples, a confirmed list of suspects that has never been fully cleared. In 2021, a cold case team called the Casebreakers publicly named a man called Gary Francis Post as their prime suspect, a deceased house painter from California. The FBI has never officially confirmed or denied it. The ciphers, it turns out, were a distraction, a brilliant one. While the world focused on symbols, the man behind them walked free, grew old, and probably died in an ordinary town, knowing he'd never be caught. He won, and he knew he would. The Zodiac case is still technically open. Right now, researchers are working it with DNA technology that didn't exist in 1969, and machine learning tools that can analyze handwriting across millions of documents. Whether they'll close it is a question nobody can answer. But if you want to go deeper, the decrypted Z340 text is public. The FBI case files are partially available. The original cipher letters are in archives you can request access to. The Zodiac wanted to be a mystery forever. The least we can do is keep looking. Drop this in the comments. Which cipher do you think was always meant to be unsolvable? And if you're new here, subscribe, because this is just one case. There are hundreds more, and some of them are darker than this one.